going on, Jerome's? It's a beautiful Monday, and it's time for another Vikings news dump because birds are chirping and stuff. So, NFL Combine wrapped up yesterday. Offensive linemen getting after it. We'll talk about them in a second. And Kevin O'Connell, Josh McCown, I feel like they're already BFFs. And I feel like it's just a matter of time before Wes Phillips is gone, and then McCown is slid into QB coach / OC. I think it's just a matter of time, man. But the Vikings got themselves a good one, McCown. And I feel like O'Connell feels good about the season. Last year was sort of whatever. Mulligan due to the injuries, and the Vikings are in a perfect position to find their quarterback of the future, potentially move on from Kirk or bring Kirk back, or who really knows, and really be players in free agency, even if they do lose to Neil Hunter. But sometimes you got to think outside the box. So the Vikings looking for the quarterback of the future. What about the quarterback of now? All right, so Justin Herbert, right. Allegedly the Diet Pepsi 2020 NFL Rookie of the Year offensively, which is not accurate. But Herbert, new regime coming on in, new GM, new head coach, and Jim Harbaugh loves him some J.J. McCarthy. I mean, he's called J.J. McCarthy the greatest quarterback of all time, and the Chargers do have the number 5 overall pick. McCarthy will probably be there at the number 5 overall pick. So if you want to get nuts, let's get nuts. Justin Herbert got paid. He's on a premium contract, making big-time dollars, but the Vikings could make it work. And I would trade 3 first-rounders and a second and probably a starter for Justin Herbert. Well, depending on the starter. Maybe I'll trade Harrison Phillips, as pictured there. But just think about all these players, whether it be Drake May or J.J. McCarthy, like we project that they will be 90 cents on the dollar of Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is good now. So, not saying, I'm just saying. Not saying it's outside the box, sure, but I don't think it's going to happen. Something that will happen is Kirk Cousins ain't going to take a hometown discount. Vikes fan page. Kirk Cousins is not expected to take a hometown discount with the Vikings per Jeremy Fowler, ESPN. Quote, Cousins has a very specific idea in mind for what he wants in his next contract, and the Vikings so far have not made an offer that matches it, end quote. Now, we said before, and Kirk has even said this too, it's not so much about the dollar amount, it's about the structure. So I think this more has to do with guaranteed money and when that guaranteed money comes in. Because if you have a 2-year deal, but all the guaranteed money is with the signing bonus and in the first year, that's a 1-year deal. And Kirk, I think, wants stability and security. He wants that guaranteed money in year 2, year 3, which we'll see if that happens. Like I said, I think the Vikings have been consistent that they don't want to do that. If they do bring back Kirk, it'll be on a 1-year deal. So we'll see what happens. But, of course, Kirk, money. It's so funny. For that millisecond, you thought that it wasn't about the money with Kirk. It's so funny. Also, AI is very scary. Not talking about Allen Iverson, but actual AI. That's all. So the offensive lineman did the damn thing at the Combine yesterday. And, besides, Troy Fautanu of Washington, besides Cooper Beebe and BB Accessories, who we talked about in a separate video, I mean, there's a couple of offensive linemen who definitely made themselves a little bit of cash. So South Dakota State, Garrett Greenfield, a national champione with the Jackrabbits, had a 38.5-inch vert, highest ever by an offensive lineman at the Combine. And that's power forward type stuff, man. And Greenfield is 6'5" and 6 3/4. 6'8", close enough. 3'11", amber is the color of your energy, and probably will be a day 3 selection. I don't think that a team would draft him to be their starter right away, but the Vikings with 2 4s, 2 5s, and 2 6. It would be interesting because it would be nice to have a younger swing tackle. Quisenberry was fine, and I think the Vikings actually should resign Quisenberry to back up Darisaw and O'Neal. But having a young guy to groom back there would make sense. Also, Christian Mahogany, many leather-bound books, projected to be a mid to late day 3 selection, the pride of Boston College. He did himself a lot of favors yesterday too, a 9.6 RAS, 5.14 in the 40. A little bit undersized, but of course that's the Vikings MO. But great in the jumps as well. Day 2 guy, powerful, chippy, great anchor as well. If the Vikings don't get Cooper Beebe, I would love to add Christian Mingle Mahogany. There you go, close enough to the Vikings offensive line. Also, Zach Frazier is quickly developing into one of my favorite players, right? So, the pride of West Virginia, grew up in. He grew up in the same town as Nick Saban did. I believe. Fairmont, West Virginia. So stayed in state, center for the Mountaineers, multi-year starter, and dude is just tough as nails. So he actually broke his leg in a game. He stayed in the game, so he wouldn't cost his team a timeout. That's dedication, man. And plus, he even only a couple months out from a broken leg, he's not 100%. He did some of the offensive line drills, which is just shows all the heart and dedication you need. And Frazier's undersized, 6'3", 313, and he's what we were told Bradbury was going to be. Right? He doesn't have the movement skills of Bradbury, but he plays with great leverage. He has a very good anchor, light but powerful high school rushing champ. And he's just a blue collar dude who's going to succeed in the NFL. Like you could see him becoming the next Jason Kelce, and I love him, man. I think Zach Frazier. I mean, he's probably going to go near the top of round 2. Could the Vikings maneuver and stick and pick and get him there at 42? I don't know. But for me, so JPJ is still center 1. I think Frazier's 2. It's pretty damn close, so the Vikings want to go that route. Also going down that route is the Vikings do need to improve the running game. And the Vikings reportedly are going to have a top 30 visit with Dylan Johnson. If he comes here, can we call him Dylon Johnson? Dylon. But Ryan Fowler, Draft Network, go. Washington running back Dylan Johnson has a top 30 visit scheduled with the Vikings, Cardinals, and Steelers, a source said. And Johnson, so he was a straw that stirred the drink on the ground for Washington, formerly Mississippi State. Ran for 1,095 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5.1 yards per carry, 86.8 PFF grade. Now, didn't do great at the combine, but a running back that is his size, like a little bit more power back, is definitely not a home run hitter, but a guy who's a patient runner, can run between the tackles, can run off tackle as well, can get into that second level relatively quickly. Didn't test great. It is what it is. But in terms of a guy that can run inside, outside zone, I think that he is a very solid running back. Probably going to be, in that day 3 mix, and this is actually a pretty decent running back class. Now that the testing came out. But wrapping up on, unfortunately, a very somber note. So Chris Mortensen, legend ESPN, longtime battle with cancer, unfortunately passed away over the weekend, age 72. And Mort, so Mort was always part of my youthful kids watching ESPN, watching NFL Live, watching SportsCenter, Mort Report coming in with all of the breaking news that's going down in the NFL. And it was before social media, so watching on TV, it was Chris Mortensen, it was John Clayton, Jumpin' John Clayton, also rest in power. That was breaking the NFL news and telling you what's up in the league. And Mortensen, and you see a measure of a person by how they're remembered when they're gone. And you saw so many journalists where Mortensen has had the time of day for them, been kind to them, said kind words and encouragement, and was absolutely a pro's pro. He was a big J journalist, and he was the best of the best. And just really unfortunate, but he fought the good fight, and may he rest in power. So Chris Mortensen, there you go. But yeah, that's it. That's Vikings Monday news dump. I feel like these two are going to do something good. Like they're going to get themselves a nice little quarterback. They'll work together. Holy triumvirate. Wes Phillips on the outside. I don't know, man. Where's Wes Phillips at the combine? Uber didn't go there? I don't know, man. But anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Let us know in the comment section below. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.